Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're talking about managing other people's opinions and outside influences. This video is leading on from my last video talking about the 3 different types of goals. So if you haven't checked that one out, I'll put the link in the description and definitely check it out if you're not sure what your goal is or if you're just interested in what you can kind of set. Okay, so to start with, we're going to talk about friends because let's be real, I'm going to assume that you guys are students or generally around colleagues and mates more so than visiting your parents and aunties, uncles, things like that. Because of that, your friends tend to have a large influence in your life, your decisions, what you do, how you spend your time. Now, of course, if your family doesn't approve, that's a whole nother issue, and we're going to get into that, but we'll leave that for the moment. So, friends, we all know, should support us, and hopefully they do. They should also want what's best for you, so they should support you. But they may not truly understand what your goal is, why you're doing whatever it is you're doing. Let's talk health and fitness. So say you're preparing for a bodybuilding competition. You know, you're in a calorie deficit, you're tracking your macros, you're really concerned about this all-encompassing aspect of your life, because when you are prepping for a bodybuilding competition, change and show, especially towards the end of it, it does not consume your life, but it takes up a large portion. It does disrupt your daily living with certain things. Can't always go out, can't splurge and have Maccas or whatever you're wanting all the time. So you can still manage it. There are ways to do that, and I highly encourage people, if they are prepping for a bodybuilding show or doing anything with fitness really, they make it work with their life. But your friends may not understand, may not really support you in that because it's so different to what they may be doing or what they know. So it's just something to be aware of. You may need to not push them out of your lives, but literally just respect their opinions, but make sure they respect yours. And if they don't for that moment, then that's a decision you need to take on board, but definitely not take those comments too hard, because if it's important to you, that is what matters. If you do have friends that aren't supporting you, same with family, I would definitely encourage you to have a chat with them, try and make them not understand your goal, but understand why it's important to you. Potentially make sure that they know you're safe and doing it responsibly, so you're not actually putting your health at risk, and just generally have a chat about your goals and your priorities for that moment. This can help them better understand it and hopefully support you more with it. So of course you can have the same problems with family. Your family may not understand your fitness goals. I know when I first started going to the gym, becoming a PT, nutritionist, my family definitely, and some of mine still don't really support that, don't understand it, but on a whole they do. And this is because even though I might do crazy diets and I'll read up and I'll find them and I go, oh, that's really interesting, I'll look at the science behind it and go, yeah, I want to try that out, but it's totally bonkers compared to how my family eats and what they may do and what they believe is correct. And the way that I've gotten around that is I've had good long chats with my family about what I'm doing, and I really inform them when they ask about it. So I don't advertise it, I don't like go, oh yeah, this is the crazy diet that I'm doing, or this is my training program to them, but when I'm asked, I'll tell them and they will state their concerns. Oh, is that really healthy? I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm making sure I'm getting X, Y, Z in my nutrients. I'm making sure that I have enough water. Like, this is how it's all balanced. Don't stress and don't worry, because I'm making an informed decision, and here's my proof. And sometimes that's all they need, because the reason they're not supporting you is that they're actually concerned about your health. It's not that they don't want you to achieve greatness and be successful and be healthy, it's that they don't understand it might be so different to what they're used to that they're not convinced this is the best thing for you. And because your friends and immediate family, or those that you're in frequent contact with, are likely to have the biggest influence on you, it's really important that they support what you do, and that way you're even more likely to succeed and accomplish exactly what you want to. If you're constantly fighting that negativity, then that may have a negative effect on your progress, and no one really wants that. Now, here is my favorite group: strangers. Let's just think about that. Strangers, that word. Like, if we care and worry about what these strange people think, then I'm sorry, but if you're gonna worry about that, just don't. Just stop it. They don't know your goals. They don't understand why you're doing this. They may or may not have an actual informed opinion of something. They may actually know what they're talking about, but usually they don't. So if they're a strange person to you, they do not know you, don't worry about their opinion. Don't worry that, you know, some troll is online going, oh, you're not as good as you think you are, or whatever. Just do what you want to do. If it makes you happy, go for it. If it keeps you healthy, definitely go for it. If it doesn't, probably stop. But again, it's your goal, it's your life, it's your fitness journey, your health journey. Whatever you want to do, do it. Don't let some naysayer who you don't know, whose opinion doesn't actually count for anything, sway you from that. And this brings us on to the topic of also unsolicited advisors. They are horrible. If you didn't ask their opinion, they're just freely giving it to you, then tell them where to go. Tell them to buzz off, because you do not need their advice, especially if your whole routine, program, everything is done by a coach or by yourself, and you've made those informed decisions yourself from the knowledge you have from reliable sources. They need to prove whatever they're saying to make it relevant, and even then it may not be relevant to you or appropriate for your goal. So unsolicited advisors are definitely, while interesting to listen to sometimes and absolutely take on their point, but don't do a 180-degree switch on what you want to achieve or how you're going to go about that because old mate said something. You can go, yeah, that sounds really interesting. Oh, I should definitely look into that, and do if you want to, but don't just lose self-confidence and disrespect yourself or your coach by making a switch. If you have a coach, definitely make sure that they are someone you trust, someone that you know is an authority and that you respect as an authority in whatever it may be, whether it's business, health, fitness, nutrition, education, whoever it is. Make sure you respect them, make sure that they are the person you want to listen to, and therefore anyone else that's saying anything can just go on that back burner for a moment. The main thing with these guys is that you need to understand that you are the best authority on your goal, your health, your training, nutrition, and dedication to whatever steps you need to make and whatever you can do. If someone's saying that you need to train twice a day, 5 times a week, or something crazy like that, and you have a 12-hour day job, then it's probably not something that you can actually do. If you have a 6-hour a day job, then maybe you could, but you've got family, you've got commitments. Going to the gym or going for a run or whatever it is 5 times a week might be a serious commitment for you. And while you can potentially work that in, it may not be ideal for your lifestyle and what's important to you. So I'm all for people offering their opinions. People can absolutely offer their opinions. But if you didn't ask for their opinion, then you don't have to recognize them as someone you need to learn from, someone you need to listen to. Use credible sources to make your decisions, whether that's going with a coach or making your own personal decisions. It needs to be an informed decision from you. Remember, if you didn't ask for their advice, don't take their words to heart. Take note, potentially, but don't think it's the be-all and end-all. Throughout my life, I have definitely been told what to do, how to eat, how to train, how to change my routine, what's optimal, what's not, based on other people's knowledge. And while some of that's really interesting and it has definitely furthered my knowledge on various different topics, I haven't done a 180-degree switch on old mate said this, so I'm gonna do that, purely because he said it was best, she said it was best. No, I'm going to base it on scientific evidence or a collection of information. I absolutely love listening to other people's opinions. I love to know how they formed that opinion, where they got their information from, because if I don't know something and they're telling me new information, awesome, I will better myself, I'll improve, I'll learn more, and I'll track that down, I'll find it out. I absolutely love that, especially with health and fitness nutrition. It is my absolute passion. So if someone's got new information, I will listen to it. I will absolutely have a chat until the cows come home about health, fitness, and nutrition. But if I'm going to make changes to my lifestyle or my training, nutrition, everything, setting my goal, whatever it may be, I'm going to base that on something that I know to be true. And if I'm wrong, then I'll adjust. But I'm going to base it on what I know. And essentially my opinion, not somebody else's, because I don't know how accurate they are. So I hope for any of you that might have a little bit of self-doubt, might think that you need to get a vast amount of knowledge to start anywhere, you definitely don't. Definitely start with what you have, because what you have now is the best that you can start with, because starting right now is always better than leaving it to tomorrow or the next day or Monday or the next week, year. Do it now, get it started, change it if needed, make the best decisions you can, and if you need help, reach out for it from someone that you respect, that you actually think is an authority and knows what they're talking about. If you like this video or got something out of it, please whack the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, then definitely do that. And if you have any further questions or topics you want me to cover, pop it down in the comments below. Hope to see you guys in the next video. See you later.